Welcome back to the Dragon's Lair, everybody. My name is Wade, and this is my show, Let's Talk 40K, where we're talking Tyranids. Eventually, I will be talking Necrons and Imperial Guard and other armies as codexes come out, but here we are with Let's Talk Tyranids. So, I've got a big playlist that I've been working on pretty much all this year. I'm going to go through everything that's in the codex, and I know the codex has been out for a while, but I just want to make a video that covers everything. Go ahead and take a look at the playlist, see if there's anything there. I cover strategies, stratagems, what I use it for, if I like it, if I don't like it, if I don't use it, well, what I hear about in the tournament scene. I only play at the Rogue Trader tournament level. I don't play in any grand tournaments or anything like that. I'm not super competitive. I just want to have fun. I do, however, want to do well. So I read about things, I watch videos about things that do well in the world of Tyranids, because no one likes to get tabled on turn 2. Right? Right. I don't want you to get tabled on turn 2. So I'm going to tell you the things that I hear, the things that I know, the things that I see that work well. Anyways, Mowlocs. Let's talk about them. I don't like the Mowloc. Okay? I don't. I prefer Trigons. That's just me. I'm not gonna, doom and gloom completely the Mowloc, because it does have a fun trick, but let's talk about it. So movement 10, which is pretty good. Okay, keep in mind, they've got the big oval base. So a model with a big oval base that moves 10 actually covers quite a lot of ground. Keep that in mind. It's easy to get them into melee combat, and it's easy to get them in melee combat with lots of enemies. That can be good when you can take those enemies easily. That can be bad when those enemies can take you easily. So just keep that in mind as a trade-off. Tough 10. Man, it's better than those tough 9 suckers. But you still get melted. It saves you from those power 9 weapons, but it's tough. And I know primarily it's the people that I play against is the issue. I play against a lot of Hellblasters and stuff like that. So if you're playing against people who don't have those weapons, good on you. I'm happy for you. But, tough 10, I think it'll keep you alive a little bit. Save 3. It's not the absolute best that you can get, but I guess it's pretty good. See if you can get yourself some cover. It can never go better than 3 with cover, but with AP2, you know what I mean? The back and forth with that. 14 wounds, that's pretty good. 14 wounds is pretty good. So that's going to keep you alive for a little while. Leadership 8. So if you want him to be holding an objective, you better put some synapse on him. That's just the way that is, because getting 8 on 2d6 is rough. Not impossible, but a little rough. So if you're doing it on 3d6 with synapse, then really good. Objective control 4. He's not taking an objective on his own, likely. He may, at least not initially, he'll probably be able to whittle a squad down. He'll probably be able to whittle a squad down and take it back from them, or take it from them. But him and something else, or it's more likely that it's going to be something else is attacking that objective. He pops up from deep strike and then joins that. And that's a pretty good strategy, in my opinion. So let's look at the weapons. Distendable Jaw, I think right now Distendable Jaw is not great. Anti-infantry 4, so it wounds any infantry on a 4+. And then devastating wounds, they're not going to get a save. They'll still get feel no pain. And it's an extra attack. So, it's only 1 attack, which is not great. 3+, it's the better set of average. Strength 5, it's not great. Devastating wounds, though, if you get the 6 to wound, then there's nothing that can be saved from it. AP 0, not great. 3 damage, it's not great because it's 1 attack. Like, it's spotty. It will help you. You will get the 3 wounds. And it's cool to think that he bends over his jaw and hinges and eats something. Like, that's cool. But it's not going to happen enough. It'll happen. And when it happens, it'll be cool. But it's not going to happen enough to help you win games. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. And sure, not everything is about winning, but if you're not trying to do well and you're not trying to win, why are you showing up? And I'm going to leave it at, if you're not trying to do well, why are you showing up? Because, you know, after you've lost like 25 games in a row, you might get a little discouraged. Winning's not everything, but I want you to have D10. All right. So Mowloc Scything Talons, this is where he shines. So 16 attacks, really good. 3+, you know, good side of average. You know, keep in mind I shoot everything from Invasion Fleet. So if you are Swarming Instincts, you're going to get extra hits based off of that. Strength 8, really good. We have an absence of Strength 8 weapons. So Strength 8 is really good because you're wounding Marines on 2s. AP 2, really good. I always say AP 1 is good, AP 2 is better, AP 3 or higher is best. So you're going to put lots of wounds on Marines with this. Sure, it's only 1 damage, and that sucks. It's not great. You know, it's the lowest number that it could be. But you're going to kill Marines with this because of the Strength 8 and the AP 2. So like I said, you won't walk up and take an objective away from a 10-man squad, but you can probably whittle them down of 2 rounds of melee combat. You can probably whittle them down, unless they're like Terminators or something. But even then, you're wounding Terminators on a 3+, and your AP2, you're going to kill Terminators too. So keep that in mind. He deep strikes, which is cool and important. Keep that in mind for where we're going. Synapse, when you see Synapse up there, that means that they benefit from Synapse. When you see Synapse down here, that means they provide it. So there's a difference between the two. Just keep that in mind. All right. Terror from the Deep. Each time this model is set up on the battlefield using Deep Strike ability, roll 1d6 for each enemy unit within 12 inches of this model. So remember, with Deep Strike, you got to be 9 inches away. So if your enemy knows that you're holding something in Deep Strike, they're going to try to screen you out. Keep that in mind. But you could be able to hit 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 units with this, depending on who you're playing against and what's going on. So you're going to roll a d6 for each one of those units. On a 2 to 4, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. That's okay. That's pretty good. You'll kill some guys there. On a 5+, that unit suffers 3 mortal wounds. That's really good. And they must take a battle shot test. That's pretty good. Now keep in mind, if you've never done a deep strike of a monster before, like Trigons or anything like that, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be so excited. You're going to deep strike them. They're going to pop up, and then everyone's going to turn and alpha strike that thing. Everyone's going to turn with their melted guns and their plasma guns and their hot shot, whatever the bleep and bleep, and their hellblasters, and they're going to melt him. Okay, and when they turn and alpha strike him, tough 10, 14 wounds is not going to feel like enough on that day. So, you know, Invasion Fleet, I do suggest that you save your save a 1 CP for a rapid regeneration. Because if he lives, he's a scary man. You know, when he's between 1 and 5 wounds, obviously he's subtracting 1 from his hit rolls, so that's where your enemy wants him to be. I would keep that in mind. You could adrenaline surge him and give him basically the sustained hits 1 would proc on a 5, and on 17 attacks you're gonna get extra attacks. So that would be a good thing to do with him. Like I said, rapid regen is really important. Also keep in mind where you deep strike him up. If you block it with cover, and if you do it on the flanks, like the left flank or the right flank, you can prevent that alpha strike from happening. Because if he can pop up and maybe somebody takes some pot shots at him and maybe he takes a wound or 2, that's not the end of the world. Then you move 10 and destroy something. Keep in mind the big problem with that is monsters can't move through ruins. So you're going to have to figure that out somehow, my friends. We here at the Dragon's Lair understand that you can spend your time anywhere on the internet. We want to say go ahead and check out the playlist. And thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon's Lair.